Greetings and salutations, you filthy consumer drones. This is your Grand High Disembodied Overlord, Milan Sheftik, and this is a message for one Rebecca Bluebird. We have your son. He has come to the front desk, claiming to be lost, and we have embraced him with open arms. And if you do not come and claim him in the next 5 minutes, he shall belong to us forever. We shall let him loose in the Kmart during the nights, and feed him nothing but junk food, for his well-being and health mean naught to us. So, be warned. If you do not collect your spawn in the next 5 minutes, you will never see him again. And remember to consume, 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 consume. Capitalism is your god. Consume, buy everything. You are judged by what you have, not what you are. You must buy to prove to others that you exist. Consume. The world is as empty as you are on the inside. So fill that hole inside you with objects, meaningless plastic objects and food. Your will is ours to command. You will buy. You will spend. You will consume. There is naught in this world but material goods.
So why don't you go out and check out one of our grand old sales in one of our grade A shops? The world is nothing more but terror and pain, so why not fill it up with grand old useless junk? Be defined by what you owe, not your personality.
Also, the owner of the yellow Honda, you are double parked and your blinkers on. For this crime, your car shall be doused in kerosene and let on fire by the food court staff. All of them. And if you do not come to collect your car immediately, you shall be tied to the concrete pillar that holds up the garage and whipped mercilessly. This may seem cruel, but it is necessary, for only in pain shall you find truth. Thus spoketh the theologians in the Order of the Gash. Beware, beware and fear, for the great ones are coming back. And if you do not sacrifice in blood, a holocaust of freedom and terror will engulf the world, and we shall be taught to scream and murder in new ways, more fascinating and terrifying ways than any mortal could have ever imagined. Death and blood and pain shall engulf the universe as we scream silently into oblivion. Allah, Allah, Cthulhu, Vatagan, Rilya, Rilya. Also, starved, rabid, rabies-infested dogs shall be released in the mall, instructed to bite all who are not consuming. Also, a skin-destroying neurotoxic gas shall now be pumped through the air vents. So remember, if you do not take the initiative to buy a gas mask, it is your own lack of capitalistic savvy that caused you your death. Do not blame them all for your lack of forethought.
Get your damn filthy hands off me! I am a god among insects! Get your hands off me! I am God!
Gentlemen, the time has come once again to discuss things.
Alright, you guys ready to start the show then? Alright. Hi everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Geeky Gentlemen. I am Sid Part 2. Joining me today is Milan Sheftik 1992 and Zazubar. And we're finally back for not exactly a regular episode since we're doing this on a different night, but a regular enough episode. It feels good to be back.
Basic recording, the normal 3, it's a regular episode.
You're a regular episode.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm content in that. I don't need to. I'm just like the characters at the end of Clerks 2. I'm content in my existence, and I don't need to join the flock of sheep that have a set place for me to go. I'm content where I am.
Way to announce spoilers, Bill.
Yeah, because everyone's so concerned with spoilers for Clerks 2, like a movie that came out.
With the themes of Clerks 2, not even like the actual events.
Yeah, it's just the theme. Hey guys, The Dark Knight, it's about anarchy.
Right?
Yeah, and dark sacrifice.
Yeah. And being what the city deserves, but not what it needs right now.
Wait, those are the themes. Those are the themes for Clerks 2?
Yes. Dante and Randall are the heroes this city deserves, but not the one it needs right now.
No, the one that needs is Blunt Man and Chronic.
Blunt Man. Let me just say, alright, let me just do a poll real quick. If they were to make an animated Blunt Man and Chronic movie, would you guys go watch it? I'd go watch it.
They did it.
They did it?
Jay and Silent Bob, super groovy cartoon movie.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. Then.
It's an adaptation of the Blunt Man and Chronic comic. I haven't seen it yet.
I have the comic books. That it's a pretty ridiculous comic book.
Yeah, well, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is a ridiculous movie, so it's fitting. I really want to see it. It looks really funny. If you've seen the Smotimation...
That's right. I remember seeing a trailer for it.
Yeah, it looks really funny. If you've seen the Smotimations catalog that's available on YouTube, it's the same animation style.
Okay.
It's very, very over the top and satire-y, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. I don't know when it's coming out widely because they did it as a tour, so I don't know when it's going to be available for wide release.
Yeah, there's a guy called Dickhead in it. It's a man with a dick head for a head.
I think he's voiced by Neil Gaiman, and it's really funny.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Well, I remember I read the comic. I still have the graphic novel version of the comic because they did a 4-issue series. Yeah, I have the comic that it's based off of.
Did that come out for Jay and Bob Strike Back, or was that for Chasing Amy?
I think it came out for Jay and Bob Strike Back because what you're thinking of is Chasing Dogma,
right?
Which is a completely different thing.
Which was ripped off for Planet of the Apes. I love that story.
Right. Okay, but anyway, so everyone, if you haven't guessed, we're discussing Clerks and Clerks 2, and since I'm pretty sure, I know Bill and I have seen all the Kevin Smith, movies in that universe. I don't know, Milan, have you seen them all?
I've seen Clerks 2, and Dogma.
Okay, so we'll discuss...
I'm more familiar with Kevin Smith's comic book work than I am his
that's fine.
Podcast.
Well, what we'll do is we'll talk mostly about Clerks and Clerks 2, but there's going to be some things that come up that relate back to the other movies in the series. Milan, you're only you're missing, I'm going to say 2 because Mallrats doesn't really count.
Well, yeah, I mean, Mallrats was made by a different company, and it really doesn't connect back to the universe.
I mean, it does. They still reference it constantly, but...
Yeah, but it's a weird one because it was made by Universal, and, I
mean, I enjoy Mallrats.
It's fine as a 90s studio comedy, but it's not really his usual... It's
not a Kevin Smith film.
No, it's a Universal movie using the style of Kevin Smith, and...
Yeah,
it's not,
but this isn't a review of Mallrats. This is a review of Clerks and Clerks 2.
I assure you.
Man, I really like these movies.
Oh, God.
I first found out about the, Kevin Smith's movie universe, I guess I'll call it. The first one I ever saw was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and that is still my favorite because of all the nostalgia I have for it, and it is still really funny. The comedy does hold up.
Funny movie.
But, my order used to go Jay and Silent Bob, I can't believe I'm about to say this, Mallrats, Dogma, Clerks 2, or Clerks, and then Chasing Amy, and this was before Clerks 2 came out, and then Clerks would go above Clerks. The Clerks 2 would go above Clerks. As I got older, I really changed on that. My favorites are actually probably Clerks, Chasing Amy, after Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, which is still my favorite. Jay and Silent Bob, Clerks, Chasing Amy, Clerks 2, Dogma, and now Mallrats sits down there at the bottom.
Yeah.
Did Kevin Smith direct Geely?
No.
Geely, it's the one with... No.
He directed Jersey Girl.
Jersey Girl is actually a fairly good movie. Conan O'Brien's been using clips of it and just superimposing a Batman mask over Ben Affleck in certain scenes.
Well, there's this...
It's really awesome because he's all having an argument with his daughter, and he's got the Batman mask on.
And he goes, "You're the Batmobile."
No. He's having an argument with her. She's like, "I don't want to move to the city. You're going to move to the city. You're going to like it. I hate the city. I wish you died instead of Mommy. Me too, you little shit. You and your mother ruined my whole life." But is Batman yelling at a child?
No, my favorite was,
Batman.
I'm a much bigger Kevin Smith podcast fan than I am his film work, but I've seen most of it. But he does this podcast called Hollywood Babylon, which I think I've referenced in the past. And when Affleck was announced as Batman, he said that, everyone asked me because I worked with him a lot. So everyone asked, "Oh, what's your thoughts on this? Have you spoken to him?" And he went, "I emailed him last night, and he gave me a mini interview." And he builds up everybody's anticipation, and then he goes, "What he gave me was a clip of what he wants to do with the Batman voice." And he plays it, and it's just fucking Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms. It was so fucking funny.
It's just some random guy actually referenced that the other day in his one of those I'm a Marvel, I'm a DC. Yeah. It ends with Loki and Batman, and Loki says, "Doth were the bomb in Phantoms, yo."
That's really funny. Oh God.
But let's get like I said, we'll drift into the other movies a little bit because they do reference each other like crazy.
Oh,
and
God.
It is really a movie universe. I mean, if Joss Whedon couldn't do the Avengers, I guess I'd go get Kevin Smith, because he knows how to build a universe, if nothing else.
Yeah, well, he'd definitely say no.
Probably, but still.
There'll be better banter. There'll be much better banter between the Avengers than there was in the movie Avengers. Ha ha! I said
that's true.
Fucking Bruce Banner would roll up to fucking Tony Stark and go, "So, how many dicks did you suck?"
No, it's like Bruce Banner would be all like, "So actually, he'd be like hitting on Black Widow, and it'd just be all
Bruce
like,
Banner is hitting on Black Widow.
So he's like, "When I Hulk out, I Hulk out."
Bruce Banner is the J of this universe, and the Hulk is Silent Bob.
That's awesome. But anyway.
I fucked
me. Back to get a little
you fuck
back.
Me?
Oh, I would totally.
Okay. Basically, the thing with Kevin Smith that people don't really get is that, yes, he is that guy who does the swearing and the funny dialogue, but with Clerks and Clerks 2, it's funny because it's like a pill. It's like a pill meant for children. It has some genuine, real heart and intelligence behind it, but it's wrapped in a layer of filth and foul language and popular culture to help it go down better, as it were. And it is funny, but behind all that funniness, there's a genuine message and some genuine heart.
There's
and
a real
yes,
story.
some people...
Let me just comment on that real quick. I think the reason that I think it has to be that way because it wouldn't be as relatable, it wouldn't be as heartfelt if it didn't feel as genuine as it does because of all the, dick and fart jokes.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
What do you do when you're sitting around bored
how
at work with friends?
Right.
Is you just make stupid jokes.
And you make fun of customers. I think what makes Clerks and Clerks 2 so well loved and definitely have given them a cult following is that it is such a relatable circumstance, and Dante and Randall are such relatable characters because it literally is just a story about two guys at work who deal with being at work and being friends. And what I think makes it so genuine and makes it so funny because it's so genuine is that that's what Kevin Smith was before he became a filmmaker. He was a fucking guy who worked at a convenience store and made jokes with his friends. And that's why I think it works so well. If some rich-ass motherfucker who waited 20 years to tell this story and didn't have that experience or didn't have that fresh of an experience with it, had made a movie like Clerks, it would just be a dumb movie, I think, because it wouldn't have had the heart in it. Because it would have just been a series of dick and fart jokes.
Well, I guess I gotta ask about that because, I mean, Clerks 2 doesn't feel that way. And it is made years and years after Kevin Smith had that working man experience.
But you know why I think it still works? Because he took the experience he had after Clerks 1 and then put that into Clerks 2.
Like, I don't know exactly. I guess I'd have to ask you to elaborate on that more, Bill.
Okay, basically what I'm saying... Go ahead, Milan.
Oh, sorry. I think it's just, with Clerks 2, I think it does kind of work because I've heard people say, "Oh, it doesn't work because he's been actually working." Well, but I think it does work because yes, Kevin Smith, the director, has worked, but the same sort of mentality behind Dante and the other guy, the guy who's Randall and Dante, You see, in Clerks 2, Randall and Dante have been working, well, in these clerk jobs for almost a decade now, and nothing has been changed. And that's still... things have changed, obviously. They're much older. They're in their fucking 30s now. But they're still working jobs meant for fucking teenagers, essentially. Right. But yes, at the end of the movie, I'm not... Yeah. It still has poignancy to it.
Yeah, I'm just asking Bill to elaborate. What did you mean by what you said earlier?
What
Bill?
I think makes it still genuine is that he's not just regurgitating what he did with the first movie, with just doing two guys working behind a counter and what that's like. That's still the premise. That's still what's going on in Clerks 2. But what he does to not only keep it fresh but also keep it genuine is he incorporates into the script all these
donkey show.
Yes, a donkey show. No, that too. But what he incorporates into Clerks 2 that still makes it genuine is the life experiences he had after that. The motherfucker got married after that. He had a kid after that. He found out what it was like to live in the real world, and he incorporates that into Clerks 2 with this whole idea of fitting into a box and how it's, you don't have to fit into a box. And I think that that's what makes it still genuine, is that he incorporates all those ideas back into the script rather than just be, all right, fuck, Clerks 2. I gotta go back and remember what it was like back then to work that register and just make new funny jokes. That's partially what's going on here, but again, there's all those new nuances in there that keeps it genuine, that keeps it like a real man's life. And I think that's the charm and the beauty of a Kevin Smith film. Is there...
You know what, actually... Hold on, Bill. Let me cut in real quick before this becomes irrelevant. I don't know if you guys seen the 60 Minutes interview they did with Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the developers of South Park, but they were talking about it and the guy said, we remember what it was like to be kids, and we remember cussing as kids, and part of what's so good about South Park is how, even though the situations are completely implausible, the boys still act like kids do. They still think like kids do.
Yep.
And they were doing an interview with them, and they go, well, we don't remember that anymore. We did a number of years ago, but now we remember remembering it. I think that's kind of like Kevin Smith is in that same thing. He remembers what it was like to be in that because he remembers reflecting on it to make other things.
Right. I think that's part of it as well.
The funny thing about the structure of these types of movies, they are very small, very low budget, but the thing is they're almost stage-like. They're not filmic, as it were. They're more like a stage play. And it's really classically done. Sure, dick jokes aside, the structure of these two films are really quite classically done. And I think,
yeah, I gotta say, I cannot imagine Humphrey Bogart, sitting there talking about Star Wars and
hey, Randall, I want to ask you there. Return of the Jedi, Jimmy Stewart, fucking playing fucking Rand.
Let me get to the point. They're steeped in today's pop culture, at least the pop culture of the time. But I still think it's quite relevant. But yes, they have a very, very classical structure to it, and I think that Silent Bob and Jay are the Greek choir of these films.
They're Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They are the outside eyes to see at the situation, and they point out the absurdity of what's going on. Of course, with a little Jay does.
They're
kind of
Bob
does as well.
Yeah, they're kind of the audience of these films in a weird way, because they seem to be aware that they're in a movie, and they're just there to comment on what's going on in the movie.
No. They're not. They don't know they're in a movie. Well, I guess if you're gonna go
film grad school. Jay absolutely knows he's in a movie.
No.
What up, bro? Steel cage match.
Especially in Clerks 2, he literally goes to the camera. I'd fuck me. Would you fuck me?
Well, not just that, but Jay makes 2 or 3 references that he could have no idea what he's talking about. Because he's like, all right, first of all, he's like, what is it? He's doing the camera thing, yes. Then he's like, yo, some pickle fucker gave us free eats. Then he's like, oh, this tastes like piss and flies to you?
Yeah.
And then you two gotta go ass to mouth.
Yeah, exactly. He wouldn't know it.
Those are all callbacks to scenes he has no idea what happened.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's what made those characters so popular.
Yes,
was
the Greek choir of the dude. They're the Greek choir of the Kevin Smith movies.
Viewers
Of course, once
I mean, even
yeah,
in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, they break the fourth wall a lot of times.
Absolutely.
Those are my favorite jokes, is when they break the fourth wall. Like, Ben Affleck gives this long-ass speech about how he doesn't want to write Bluntman and Chronic because they're stupid characters, and he doesn't want anything to do with them, and he just wants to move on with his life and do something else. And the entire time, Kevin Smith's just nodding because he totally gets it. And
no, my favorite moment of breaking the fourth wall in Jay and Bob Strike Back is when fucking they're filming Good Will Hunting 2, and Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are talking about making films, and he's like, first you do a movie for money, then you do an art film, and then you do a movie to help out a friend, and they both look at the camera.
yeah,
I love that.
like, actually, I mean, that one has a lot more than that in it too. Like, I really like when the casting director for the extras is standing Jay and Silent Bob up against the wall, and he's all like, all right, now neither of you say anything. And then he points to Silent Bob, especially you. And Jay and Silent Bob look at each other like, that was pretty funny.
That was really funny. Fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I also love...
No, Jay just gets, like, all over the place in this movie, and it's weird to look at it this way, because obviously Jason Mewes is not an actor, but, you look at his performance in Clerks, and then you look at it in this, and it's so much more refined. You really start to actually get that this isn't myself, and he started to get past that, I don't know what to call it, that kind of camera face that people get when they are not used to being in film. He really got past that by this.
Oh, yeah. Well, what we have in
Oh,
Clerks,
yeah. He's got
in the original Clerks, is this unfiltered performance. He doesn't know what works for a camera yet, so he's just running off everything that's in the script, and then also whatever he can come up with. And he doesn't care whether or not it's working for the camera. He's just fucking going. And then he's been acting for over 10 years, and then you find in Clerks 2, he knows what works and what doesn't with this character, what's funny and what isn't. And he just fucking fires on all cylinders with the stuff that's funny. Jay is on fucking fire in Clerks 2. It's amazing.
Well, like, it's funny. I really like his sense of timing in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Milan, let me just finish this. I really like his sense of timing, especially with his first, slow moment, where he's all like, man, I wish I just did something with my life. And it's funny because he's really hitting on the themes of the movie in this. Like be an animal doctor, You take care of hippos and shit. Why not me? Or be the first motherfucker to travel to a new far-off planet and meet an alien life form. And fuck it.
It was such a great... Because it's such this amazing moment of like, oh, Jay's gonna get progressive, and then he hits you with like a classic Jay line, just like, and then fuck it.
Yeah, okay. Milan, go ahead.
Okay, guys, I'm on Kick-Ass Torrents now, and I found a copy of James Silent Bob Strike Back, but in Russian.
Oh no.
It's gonna be all by that same So it's gonna be that same Russian dude. He's gonna be like, fuck, motherfuck.
Snooch to the nooch.
Motherfuck, noise. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, noise. Smoking weed, smoking whiz, doing coke, drinking beers.
It sounds like a beat poem.
Beers. Rolling fatties, smoking blunts. Who smokes the blunts? We smoke the blunts. Smoking blunts and rolling blunts. Hey, yo, man, let me get the nickel bag. $15, little man. Put that shit in my hand. It doesn't show that you owe me, oh. My jungle love. Oh. I think I want to know ya. Dude, I have that rap so well memorized.
Clerks
I can go
2, The Beat Poem by Ian Harrington.
Dude, I can go through that. I can go through Jay's rap so fast, it's ridiculous.
Oh my god. The funny thing I love about the first Clerks film is that, yes, it has the kind of film school, right? Like, really, there's some acting in there. There's just, it should be shit. Like, objectively, it should be awful, but it's not. Because it has this raw feel to it. And even with Jay, he actually fucks up on the line. It's just like, he's going through this monologue, and he's like, oh, fuck, I fucked up. And it just keeps on going, and it's like, it's so terrible, but yet at the same time, so natural. It's
funny. It's funny, I completely agree. When you look at Clerks, and you don't watch the movie, you just look at it as a piece. Just you look at the cinematography, you look at the sets and everything, you should look at it and be like, holy fuck, that is an amateurish piece of crap. And then you watch the movie and you're like, alright, it doesn't look great, but oh my god, does this thing have a heart and soul. Oh my god, is it funny.
Yeah.
I love these characters, and that's what makes that movie work. And when you add on the, let's face it, crappy visuals, it is like, it has this fucking...
It's like being in the fucking... It's like being trapped into the store.
It absolutely is that way. It has a stigma attached to it. It has a stigma attached to it. You immediately... That is Clerks to you. And I think that's what makes Clerks so endearing.
He makes the shitty production values into a style all on its own. Because at first, it's like... I think at first Kevin Smith was like... I don't have enough money, but then I think he just like, okay, let's just go with it. And I don't know if this was a decision him as a director, but I think at some point naturally he just turned into a style, at least for this one movie. Of course, later on he had some money and had he could add some extra polish to his films, but Clerks has a very very specific charm.
I want to see Kevin Smith go all George Lucas and touch up Clerks.
Oh, he's joked about that before. Where he's gonna go back and add in CGI. The opening to you just see how busy Leonardo is. It's all these CGI characters, fucking like trucks unloading and shit. It's interesting because this is the first time I've watched Clerks and Clerks 2 back to back, and they are two very different movies. Clerks has this very raw, very, very 90s feel to it. Extremely 90s feel. The way everyone dresses.
I think it's the music that does that.
Well, it's the music, it's the way Dante and Randall are dressed, the way Jay's dressed. It's just very, very 90s.
Funny enough, you should say that. I guess it's just how fashion gets around, but, like, if you look at it now, from our perspective, it's like, they're just kind of dressed like poor students, or not even students, just poor people. They're dressed like us, dude.
Oh, they are dressed very much so like blue collar fucking, working class, people of that time who were young, like who grew up in that generation. It's this very transitional, like this was shot in the 90s by people who grew up in the 80s. I mean, it's very much so that kind of feel. But then
the thing is, it's kind of works for us as well, because we kind of are going back to quote unquote 90s poor people fashion, and it's kind of like, hey, it's like watching an old movie, but with the fashion sense of today.
Yeah. And then you look at Clerks 2, and Clerks 2, and then Clerks 2 is a totally different movie. There's no breaking up of the structure with almost like acts based on the words. There's no character introduction via word choice or anything like that. It's in color, obviously, though there is an intro in black and white.
Which I really like.
Oh, I love that. I mean, the CG fire looked awful, but that's forgivable.
I honestly didn't notice it was CG fire until this time watching it.
Yeah, you got to kind of look at it, because then you watch it and you're like, why does it look so weird? And you're like, oh, it's probably CGI because they couldn't actually burn down the store. And what was I going to say? Oh, and also I think the big sequence with me, which is like, oh my god, this was made by the guy who made Clerks, is the fucking dance sequence.
That is so out of place. Like, I don't care. Like, I really like. I thought it was really funny when Jay and Bob were nodding their heads, and when Randall and everyone. Like, I don't mind when it's happening in the restaurant. It all works there because it makes sense that everyone can hear the damn boombox. It's when all the other people come out there.
Fucker in the bathroom taking a piss.
No, I don't mind him. I'm just talking about like when you see the nun and the Indian woman dancing. It doesn't make any sense. It's seriously like we left a Disney movie, came into Clerks for a couple minutes, and then left again.
Well, it feels almost like this is like the studio's ending of the movie. It kind of, like, this is the big dance number at the end of Clerks 2 that's going to bring all the characters together, and we still got a half hour to go. It is a very bizarre scene. I like it only because it shows this connection between all the characters that you don't get in the rest of the movie because they're always at odds with each other. But it is very out of place. I completely agree. It's fucking bizarre.
Like, I don't mind it. I think it's well shot. It just doesn't make any sense.
One of my favorite scenes. Well, I just love it.
I think it's well shot. I mean, if you like it because it's well shot, then yeah, I totally get you. I just think it's out of place with the rest of the movie.
Absolutely,
I don't think so. I don't think it's out of place because, you know, with Jay and Silent Bob there's always an element of fourth world breakage. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it doesn't come out of nowhere. Well, it does, but it still feels like it should be in Kevin Smith's movie. But
not with Clerks 2. If they had done it in Jay and Bob, it would have worked fine.
If it'd been in Dogma or Jay and Silent Bob, it would have worked.
I don't know about Dogma, but definitely Strike Back.
Did I say Dogma? I meant Mallrats.
Mallrats, it would have worked. I don't know about Clerks 2, because you look at the first Clerks and there's nothing of that giant caliber in Clerks 1. And I know that this is 12 years later and Kevin has moved on.
Yeah, 12 years later.
No, I don't. But it doesn't matter. It should still feel like that same feel, that same small feel, and it has that in every other scene except for that one scene. And it would have been perfectly fine if it had just been fucking Becky and Dante, Jay and Bob. That would have been fine because that's something.
No, I like when it's the guy in the bathroom. I like when it's Randall and Elias. That works for me. It's when we see the giant choreographed scene that bothers me.
Yeah, it's like this is
I
Kevin
think this
Smith movie.
I liked it, but I guess it's just because it just had such a fun.
Because in Russia people don't ever
dance. Because in Russia people don't dance. Is that it?
Basically, in Russia, if you are caught dancing with the secret police, the policeman or the secret police officer pulls out a gun and you are shot for being a homosexual.
And if you survive, you have kitchen duty for 5 days.
No, you just
and then
shot again.
You must clean up your own blood.
No. This is what happens. If you are caught dancing and you are presumed to be a homosexual, you are then shot. And then shot again, because Russia doesn't like gay people.
This kind of sounds like Russia's actual policy towards homosexuality.
Yes, right. That was a political joke. I was being political.
This is Geeky Gentlemen, motherfuckers. We introduced the politics in with the comedy.
I guess I love that sweet mojito chocolate girl. Oh my god.
Rosario Dawson?
She was in a lot of stuff around this time. She was in Sin City. She was in a couple other movies
She was a big
around
actress at this time, yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's so pretty. I'm like, oh my god, I want to marry you.
Well, if you want to see her half naked, watch Sin City.
It's funny, Kevin Smith talks a lot about that casting choice, and he talks about how when he first pitched Clerks 2, and Chasing Amy had the same problem, the Weinsteins were like, okay, we gotta get some big names in there to fucking market the movie. And Kevin Smith was like, it's fucking Clerks 2. I mean, do we really need to put big names in here to get people to come? I mean, what's this hit the audience
Jack
with the
Nicholson.
first one? No, Jack Nicholson is fucking Dante.
Clerks 2 as Dante.
I'm not even supposed to
Sir
be
Ian
here today.
McKellen. Sir Ian McKellen.
And he's wearing the Magneto suit, and no one knows why.
With Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd as Jay and Silent Bob.
No, fuck you, Sir Ian McKellen is Jay. Fuck you.
No, Ian McKellen is fucking Randall. I'm telling you, dude, Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd as Jay and Silent Bob. Tell me that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all.
It makes perfect
Robert
sense.
De Niro was Silent Bob. Robert De Niro was...
No. What you should do... Here's what makes sense.
Al Pacino and Robert De Niro was Jay and Silent Bob. That makes
No.
sense.
Here's what you do. If you want actual big names to play Jay and Silent Bob, you ready? Robin Williams and Stephen Wright.
That doesn't get old. This is like a future. They sound
This
like
is
they just
retro
sung
casting
each
for
other.
fucking Clerks 2.
Right. But anyway, let's get back to the actual
I still
story.
want Jimmy
Like,
Stewart as Randall.
The dance scene, it's awkward. It works for the story. It just doesn't make sense in the context of the rest of the film.
I don't even know if it works with the story because it's
Well, I mean, the dance scene has to be there. So
the
you have
film
to
that has
back dancing.
I've
Yes,
seen that has a donkey show. I see that has a donkey show. Oh, the donkey shows, is perfectly placed in this film.
It is
But
pretty
a
perfectly
dance number,
placed.
oh my God.
It is,
No,
Shut up!
it is. No.
Those are
it is,
two
though.
very
It makes
different
perfect
things.
sense. It makes perfect sense with the context of the story and the context of the universe. I mean, this is the same universe where last movie some girl fucked a dead guy.
not only that, there was a poop monster in this universe. So it's not plausibility in terms of what can and can't happen. It's when things make sense to happen.
Yeah.
If that choreographed scene had been in a place that makes sense, like if that had been at Becky and Dante's wedding, that would be different. I think that would work better. But it's the fact that it's in the middle of this random ass fucking, this random ass scene that really should have been quite small, and it's turned into this giant dance number. It's just like, what the fuck?
I think Kevin Smith just wanted to have a dance number in his movie.
I presume that was part of it. I've never heard him comment on it, but that's probably it. He's probably.
I mean, I've always wanted to do a song and dance number just because they're hilarious.
Yeah. And it is funny and it's cool to look at, but it doesn't make any sense.
If I
Milan, what were you
ever
saying?
were to make a movie, I would just have a buoyant and happy dance number in the most inappropriate places. It's like it's the nuclear holocaust, the hero is laying holding the dead corpse of his child, and then all this, just the skeletons come up and sing It's a Happy Day. It's just the worst thing. No. Look, a rendition of Sunshine in Auschwitz.
Oh god.
What?
Oh, yeah. Auschwitz,
Oh, wait, hang on. The movie Sunshine that you guys
are
reviewed that I had to watch, and
No.
in Auschwitz.
It's raining
No, Sunshine's
now.
a song.
The song is gone.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the movie. I was
But
like,
in
that
Auschwitz.
doesn't make sense.
No, Bill, I'm not talking about the
As
goddamn
opposed to
movie
singing Sunshine in Auschwitz, I guess. That makes
No,
sense.
they sing movie in Auschwitz. They just sing all the time in Auschwitz. Oh, okay, enough with the Holocaust.
There's not. Oh, well, there's a pretty good Holocaust joke in here.
Oh god, I love the Anne Frank joke every
Listen,
time.
here's why it's funny. Every one of you in this call has made that mistake.
No, I have never
I
made
have
that.
made that mistake several times. And
I
Milan,
don't even know. I don't even know who the blind and deaf girl is, but at least I know who the
Helen Keller?
fuck Anne. Yes, that's an American thing. At least I know who Anne Frank is. Jesus,
That's true.
Bill, you inconsiderate asshole.
Bill, I just think you're a dumbass.
no, everybody I know has
exactly.
made that mistake. So
Everyone you know is a
well,
fucking
you're
idiot.
I know. Listen.
well,
Okay.
Bill, I guess you're in the same region that the movie was made in, somewhat geographically speaking. So
Dude, I
maybe.
could be there in a half hour. So yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's kind of why. Question then: did they leave the movies up? I would love to go to a movies restaurant.
the movies was shot in California,
Aw.
and they took it down. They took it down immediately afterwards because they were building another fast food joint there.
Aw, I'm so disappointed by that. Why not leave up a movies world? Because they've had like 3, haven't they? Because I know they mention movies. Movies is a major part of Dogma. And
it's in Jay and Bob, yeah.
Yeah, and I know there's the actual restaurant in Jay and Bob. I don't remember if there's a movies restaurant in Dogma or not.
They mention it. I don't know if it's actually in the movie, but I believe that was the first place it was in, unless it was in Chasing Amy.
No, it wasn't. Movies is the first one that Movies was made for Dogma.
Yeah.
Because they wanted the whole golden
Yeah,
calf.
yeah, that was fucking genius.
I love
Yeah.
that thing. I love that scene.
It's a
funny
great
that
scene.
sexually attracted males always give the name Loki. I don't know. It's weird.
Did you just
yeah.
say
I
sexually
had some-
attractive males are always given the name Loki?
Milan, as the only bisexual person here, can you please explain to me what the hell is up with this Loki fangirl fad?
Yeah!
Well,
Is she really that attractive?
Bill, if you interrupt me again, I will eat your face with my face.
Alright, if I interrupt you, sure. That goes both ways,
Basically,
motherfucker.
the thing with Loki is... God damn it. The thing with Loki is... He has this certain bad boy charm, at the same time there is this... Well, he's a bit wicked, but at the same time he's very vulnerable. And it helps also that it's a pretty British boy doing the naughty things. And yes, you got the whole, oh, my daddy doesn't love me, but I'm a bad boy doing bad boy things in a horned helmet. And my father, I guess it's the whole yaoi thing with him and Thor. Everyone wants to see Thor and Loki go at it. And the funny thing, in China,
Oh, yeah.
they didn't like the poster from Thor to the Dark World, so they changed it for a picture from the internet. And so it's just Thor holding Loki in a sexual manner.
True. I've seen it.
In
It's
the
pretty
place.
fucking funny.
Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, it's just the whole yaoi craze between Loki and Thor. And I guess Loki is like, I guess girls are a little bit intimidated by Thor. Sure that he gets them wet, but it's just like, Thor gets me wet, but it's just like, Loki is a little bit more manageable. Like, I can change.
That's going on a t-shirt.
Milan, tweet that shit. Tweet that shit, please. That's
What did I
hilarious.
say? What did I say?
Thor gets me wet. That's funny as
Going
shit.
on a t-shirt.
Well, he does. I'm sorry. He's a very sexy man. But
We
yeah,
need
that
to
Loki,
make a-
like,
I'm sorry, Milan, go ahead.
oh, what? Loki just, girls just want to change Loki. Like, oh, if only he had me in his life, I could change him. That's the whole thing. With me, I'm just like, I want to stick my big throbbing cock in.
There's no change involved. It's just a sheer raw gayness.
No, it's just pure sexual assault for me.
Let me just say this. We say this constantly on the show, that should be on a t-shirt. We need to make a fucking Twitter account that's called That Should Be on a T-shirt, with just quotes that should be on a t-shirt.
That's not a bad idea. No, but I don't know. The whole Loki thing just popped into my head. I don't know why. I
think about him on a daily basis.
Obviously.
Boy,
I mean, who doesn't?
Just every day, I wake up, I brush my teeth, I have my pancakes,
Then I masturbate while looking at a picture of Tom Hiddleston.
And crying.
Yes, yeah. Well, no, it's just the minute I wake up, the second I go to sleep, my mind is filled with the naked body of Loki and Tom Hiddleston and Thor and just Chris Hemsworth, just in this writhing mix of flesh, just sweating
God.
and licking.
Is he fucking the blob? What are you...
It kind of transforms.
There we go. Why is there no fan fiction, fan erotica for the Blob? The Blob
Why?
deserves
You
erotica.
need to know why.
Basically, like, they don't fuck blah, but now that you mention it, I think that character will add it to my sex pile. But yeah, it's just those two actors just kind of morph this blobbish form of flesh.
No, Milan. You need to write some. You're on that DC Universe fan fiction site that Deadpoolzilla's on. You need to volunteer to do a Blob story and then not tell anyone you're going to do an erotica story.
Blob's a Marvel character.
Chris hates me as it is, and
You're
it's
right.
like,
I forgot about that.
Well, actually, does he hate me? I think he might be a bit like. I think I'm his Loki. He's like, I hate him, but I want to change him.
Yeah.
Chris.
Milan, there's no changing you.
I know.
Milan, if I've learned anything, it's that there is no change in you. You are the unstoppable force of insanity and disturbingness.
You're the unstoppable force and the
ass
unmovable
is
object.
the immovable object, and Tom Hiddleston's ass is the immovable object. I'm the unstoppable force. Tom Hiddleston's ass is the immovable object.
For you to do what you want to him, it doesn't have to be movable.
Okay.
That reminds me.
Let's get back to the movies,
That
please.
reminds me. There is a and this is in every Kevin Smith movie, there is a shockingly gay overtone in every single Kevin Smith movie. I mean, there just is. You got Snowball in the first one, and then you have The Donkey Show, constantly Randall and Dante concerned about being perceived as gay. There's just really gay overtones in these movies.
Randall isn't really worried. Randall isn't worried about that. He's just kind of like, oh, I know you love me. I think he just teases Dante with it.
No, well, there's a scene where he goes, hey, guys, close your ears. And it's because he's about to tell Dante he loves him, and then he goes, in a totally not gay heterosexual way.
Well, Bill, how long has it been since you've seen Chasing Amy?
I don't know, a couple months.
All right, it's very much in the same kind of tone as that one, though not as much with Banky actually being, at least bisexual.
Yeah, it's heavily implied he wants to fuck.
Speaking of, just real quick, God, Jason Lee looks so different with that mustache.
Right? I mean, he goes from Dave, from the Chipmunks, to Earl, just so quickly, right? And you can tell each one based on his fucking facial hair.
Dave from the Chipmunks, oh my god.
Well, that's my clean-shaven Jason Lee comparison, because I can't say Chasing Amy, because he had a beard in that too. So.
Well, he had stubble, but yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Banky Edwards. I'm the executive producer on this, and you're the director. I'm going to just Chris Rock and Silent Bob, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep.
No one has the heart to tell you this, but I will. You're a tracer. You trace.
I loved that.
That movie was, you could tell Strike Back was supposed to be the last one because there are so many callbacks.
Oh, definitely, and it was heavily, like, there's an interview Kevin Smith did where he goes, if I was ever to do Clerks 2, this is Clerks 2. And then he made Clerks 2 like 4 years later.
It's, 5. Yeah.
Oh, that was 01, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's something else. But I think my favorite scene in Strike Back, it's so simple, but it actually applies really well to philosophy, so I do really love it. It's when they're running away from the security guard at the movie studio, and they run into the, backdrop, and then they move the backdrop, and it's the exact same thing. It's just they made a backdrop of the exact thing that the backdrop was in front of. Exact perspective you would have, and Jay just goes, I hate how fake Hollywood is. Why would you put that there?
No, I think my favorite scene in Strike Back is when the monkey gets stolen by that truck, and Jay is just like, it's over, man. Where do you think they're going? And Silent Bob just goes, they're going to fucking L.A., you fucking dumbass!
No. The sign on the back of the car says Critters of Hollywood, you dumb fuck.
I love that scene. It's just like, it's the audience screaming at Jay. Again, Jay and Silent Bob are the audience. And Silent Bob is even more so because he's just silent the whole time, and then he speaks, but it's important, so.
I like how Silent Bob in every other movie except Clerks 2 is like this voice of reason. Whenever he talks, it's actually really important, and it's thematically connected to whatever's going on.
Yeah.
And then, especially in Clerks 1, I mean, that's the biggest one, is he's the one that gives Dante his epiphany that, no, he doesn't actually love Caitlin. He's just obsessed with her. He's actually in love with Veronica. But, and when it comes to Clerks 2, what is like this deep emotional issue that you can tell Kevin Smith actually wrote. I mean, there are lines in there that I've heard Kevin Smith talk about.
Oh, yeah, there's stories in there that you've heard him tell, especially when Randall goes, for God's sake, we took criminology for a semester where we trained to be Batman, and if you hear Kevin Smith tell that story, it's fucking funny. So to give the basics, he just goes, me and my friend Brian Johnson had no direction in life at that time in our lives, and for a time, we actually tried to be Batman. We would drive around Highlands in his car, and Kevin Smith wore a black trench coat with a bat symbol on a t-shirt. And they actually took classes to try and become Batman.
That's so awesome. No, but there's that scene, and there's you can tell it's just Kevin Smith writing his heart out in that scene. And then they look to Silent Bob, and Jay says, well, what are you waiting for? That's your cue. And it's supposed to be the moment where Silent Bob, this guru of the universe, just tells everyone what they need to know straight. He's been pondering it all. He has all the answers. And then Kevin Smith, in the most Kevin Smith moment in the entire film series he's done, says, I've got nothing.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's a funny and poignant. Because
Oh yeah.
you hear them both just go back and forth on this problem, and they both have valid arguments, and both have points for why the other one has fucked up and why the other one is making the wrong decision. And you as the audience, and again, I think Jay and Silent Bob are the audience, and you're just like, I don't know how to solve this problem. I have no clue. And that's what Silent Bob just fucking says. It's just so fucking funny and poignant. I completely agree.
Yeah. The thing with the first movie that I really quite liked, Veronica, like the other girl, the whore girl that he's
Caitlin.
Caitlin. Yeah,
Caitlin. With Caitlin, you know, you can understand why what she is and how she is, and you can't really hate her. That's the thing. All the characters have their own faults, but you can't hate them. But the other girl, Veronica, she genuinely loves Dante. She brings him pizza. They have such a natural way of going lasagna, and it's just like it's kind of tragic when she leaves him at the end of the movie because it's just like, it's like Dante, you fucking moron. And I was kind of upset that, like, I don't know, this is just a romantic in me going, oh, he's with a blonde girl now. And
Well,
blonde
you know
girl, it's the same thing.
honestly,
let me finish.
wish... Okay.
And that's the thing. And then the blonde girl stole my heart because she's so sweet. And then the black girl stole my heart. It's just like these women are just so lovable in Kevin Smith movies. And you fall in love with all of them. And you just like, oh no, Dante, you fucking idiot. You broke one heart. But at least you get the mochaccino girl to have your biracial child with.
Honestly, let me just throw this out there. Do you think that Emma should have been Caitlin in Clerks 2?
No.
I don't think it would have worked because they're both two different characters.
No, I mean, it's just like, I mean, given where Caitlin ends in Clerks 1, I don't think it would have worked, but it's very much like, it feels like she's the same kind of character. Not that they dated in high school, but that she's like that really popular character that Dante's kind of been pining for all his life.
Well,
and then he finally gets her, and then he realizes, oh god, I don't want her. So it's just kind of a mirror to the first film.
That's the interesting
Yeah, and that's
thing.
why I say, like, it looks like she kind of should have been actually played by Caitlin. I think you could have finagled it to where, yeah, it could have worked. Because, I mean, yeah, she had this traumatic event, but... One, you could have had Randall play that up to such amazing comedy in such a dark manner.
Oh, God, yeah.
Just, like, honestly, instead of that oversized clit scene, we really could have just gotten Corpse Fucker.
I think the thing is that they're both serving the same purpose. They're the other girl that Dante is going with, that he's in love with based on the thing that they represent and not who they actually are. I think the difference is that Caitlin was the girl who represented... it's hard to put into words, because with Emma, she is the success of life. She's the basic, wife who Dante could have to become a part of a normal life. Whereas
I mean, it's not just that. It's just the ultimate thing. I mean, her parents will buy him a fucking house. He'll get a new job in L.A. with a beautiful blonde shell. But the girl that steals his heart is a sweet brown chocolate angel.
Oh, that's the...
What? Stop calling black people chocolate!
Rosario Dawson isn't fucking black!
They are. They're sweet. Well, she is mixed. So she's a mochaccino chocolate angel princess.
I think she's Latina.
Lot.
I don't know.
Human beings are not made of chocolate.
That is a lie. I've eaten some and they taste like chocolate.
I'm sure you...
Shut up, you can't break my...
I'm sure you've eaten plenty of chocolate people, Milan, but not in that way.
That's I've eaten a lot of vanilla people, but
I bet you have.
Okay. No, but like, I don't know. It's one of those interesting things. Is the characters are very similar. in certain respects. They fill the same role in Dante's life in both of these films. And I do love the line Randall has is, "Why do you always have two chicks fighting over you?"
Yeah.
This fucking shot I've ever seen.
Yeah, I love that, and he just continues that for the rest of the movie.
Now he's got like he's fat now. He's got like the goatee thing going on. It's just like
he looks
like how.
Yeah, like, you look at him in Clerks 1, you're like, that's an attractive dude, and then you go to Clerks 2, it's like, holy shit.
Well, like, there's that one scene in Clerks 2 where Emma kicks him in the balls, and he goes down on the floor, and it's just a really quick shot of Dante's face as he's kneeling on the floor before the cake comes in, and I swear, it just looks like a frog. just for that brief instant, he actually looks like a frog.
But I guess it's just... I guess personality really does work in these fictional things. You know? Is it true that women like... No, is it true that beautiful women like ugly men for their personalities? Or is it just a lie that Hollywood does?
In Clerks, he's reasonably attractive. You know, he's not like a 10 or anything, but in Clerks, he's reasonably attractive. In Clerks 2, Emma's only interested in him because she's completely played the field and lost in every sense, and Becky likes him. Becky, am I getting that right?
Yeah, Becky likes him for who he is, yeah.
Yeah, Becky likes him because she's gotten to know him over time. She's seen him as he really is, and she gets him, and they're actually in love with each other.
Right. The thing is with Emma and Dante is that they're both in love with each other based on the ideas each other represents, and that's not what you fucking found a relationship on. And Becky talks about how her parents thought the same thing about each other. They were in love with each other as ideas, and they fucking hated each other. And they were miserable for 30 fucking years, and she goes, do you want that to be your life? It's just a really powerful scene. And to go back to a point that, Ian, you were talking about earlier, a lot of characters in Clerks 1 and Clerks 2 fill the same role. It's hard to... I think the hardest one to point is Elias, because there isn't really a third party in Clerks 1. That fills that Elias role. Elias is definitely a character who's very unique to Clerks 2, and I think that's why I love him so much. He's such a great character.
Well, like, we've all worked with... That's the one thing the first Clerks didn't really get, is that when you have to work with someone who's just an idiot...
Yeah.
I have to deal with that every day, and it's fucking a pain in the ass, because it's not only that he's stupid, it's that he doesn't know he's stupid.
He's ignorantly stupid.
Yeah.
Elias, you mean?
And he wants, not just Elias, but like this person in my life who I have to work with every day, and I have to help all the time because he's so irrationally incompetent at his job, and for some reason he has not been fired. There's that scene where Elias picks up the fries, and he's like, oh, I don't think these look right. And Randall's like, what? All you have to do is put them in and pick them back up. The machine does all the work. What does the machine have to turn into a robot for you to...
I love the Transformers fucking shit. I love that. It's so fucking funny.
Oh my god. I just think, like, Elias, like, I don't really... Like, he just looks like a sweet, goofy boy to me. He's like, aw,
Well, you haven't worked with a moron, then. You have not had to work with a moron like that.
No.
And I
Oh, I
congratulate
have, but... I have, but
no, you have not. You have not.
Attractive.
Well, you have one job. That's it. You've only had one job. And you can listen to your iPod all day. You don't have to deal with the moron all day.
Oh,
I haven't worked...
I don't.
I haven't worked with somebody of that caliber, but I've known them and fucking been with them on a daily basis, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna quote Ricky Gervais for this. It's like walking around with a cat who's become sentient and has to talk. And they don't know what's going on, but they're just spewing out bullshit. That is exactly what it's like to hang out with somebody like that. When they say something like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. There's somebody in my life I don't see anymore, but I knew all throughout high school who one time said, so, Billy, when you have a pain in your calf and it doesn't go away, that's called hepatitis, right? And I just looked at her and I said, yes, it is. Yes, you poor fool, it is. And I walked away. Because for that kind of stupidity, it requires a much more patient man than I. I can't sit there and explain
Bill,
to somebody.
Bill, let me just ask. Did that girl touch your penis?
No.
You should have made her, because I'm reasonably sure you could have, like, pulled some of the most ridiculous lines off on that girl.
Ian, I'm gonna say this to you. I don't want that girl to touch my penis.
Was she cute? Was she cute at least?
She was like fucking 3.5 feet tall. And, I mean, she wasn't hideous, but she's just not, I wouldn't want her anywhere near my area. Just not.
Okay, so basically, if she had this is a sexist test. If she was the same level of intelligence as she is in that story, but she looked like that chocolate angel girl, would you still whip out your penis?
If she was attractive, and,
Yeah.
like, was normal sized,
was
Yeah.
proportionately sized to Bill's standards. Bill goes speed dating and carries with him a measuring tape.
I do actually. No, it wasn't the size. It really, I am definitely a stickler for personality as well. You know, as you know, fucking little girls show an interest in me, I still have some kind of standard.
Yeah, Bill requires girls to be able to, you know,
reach my area.
have a pulse. And
Fuck you. Yeah, this girl didn't have a pulse. She was a fucking
Girls
ghost.
need to have skin
and
all
respond
over
to
their
physical
body.
stimuli and not be in coma.
Hey, listen, Ian.
That's the real
I'll have
sign.
you know, I don't fuck ghosts or paraplegics.
I do.
Really now?
I bet you do, Milan. I bet you do.
Oh, actually, let's go back to the movie a little bit here. What about the whole thing with Randall just ragging on a guy that's in a wheelchair?
As a man with a very close relative in a wheelchair, I thought it was even more funny. Because it's so... Because, you see, here's the thing. Randall is not an idiot. Far from it. He's one of the smartest people in the Viewers universe. But he is ignorant. He's ignorant, but he's not stupid. He's ignorant of some things that are just so completely basic human instinct. And the fact that he
Porch
questions
monkeys.
them kind of makes him smarter. He's like, why should I feel bad for a guy in a wheelchair? And it's so fucking like, we don't register because we think of that as a basic human instinct, but this guy's questioning it, and it makes it fucking hilarious.
There's that, and then there's the whole thing with Porch Monkey.
Oh, those two scenes are the ones, dude. Those are the two.
Oh my god.
Like, I love that it's like Dante and Randall have supposedly been friends since high school, or no, since elementary school, haven't they? Like their entire lives they've been friends, and it's not until this moment that Dante realizes Randall doesn't know what porch monkey means.
What does porch
It's
monkey
like-
means anyway?
It's a racial slur for lazy black person.
Yeah. You ever heard the joke?
Oh.
You ever heard the joke why the black man couldn't find his food stamps? Because they were
Why?
under his work boots.
Yeah.
It comes from shit like that.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
it's a racial
Oh, I get
slur
it.
for lazy black people because they're a
Lazy
monkey that
black-
just sit on the porch all day.
Right.
And like I mean, I guess it makes I guess you could potentially take that.
You're
back.
not taking back any racial slur ever. Ever.
No, I mean, I could understand a world where porch monkey could be applied to just lazy people, but I don't think you're gonna get.
years.
I don't think
I
you're
don't
ever
get
gonna
the
get
whole
all
idea
the
of
way
the
away
spook.
from it.
I seen this in some the racial term of the spook. I hear like people say, "Oh, you shouldn't call black people spook." I'm like, what is this spook?
I've never
What,
heard
I just put these
spooks
big ghosts?
before. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I've never heard it used in a sentence. I've just heard
I
it.
know, but what
I've
does
just
it
heard
mean?
it I've just
Are
heard
black
it
people
identified as a
scared
racial
like
slur.
ghosts?
I don't know. I'm actually going to look up on Urban Dictionary to find out because I don't know what
You
I don't know
just-
what race. I don't know what race it's supposed to be.
Yes, Magic Dictionary of Racial Slurs.
Thank you, Milan.
Spook, racial slur. There we go.
Yes. You just look that up in your dictionary of racial
Okay,
slurs.
it is a racial slur intended for African Americans.
Most of them are. It goes African, it goes black people, Mexicans, and then for some weird reason Irish. And maybe I guess Irish has kind of fallen off. It's more Jewish than it. So it's black people, Mexicans, Jews, Irish.
The term in this
I hate the
context is partly sarcastic. A spook or ghost is usually white. Additionally, blacks were often portrayed as superstitious and thus easily spooked. One major factor lending weight to the term is that blacks were considered difficult to see at night and could spook someone unaware of their presence. That is so fucking bad.
Okay, anyway, I do like that Randall is so fully ignorant in the most, just jaw-dropping way.
Right.
And I love Wanda Sykes in that scene. Oh my god.
God, that was funny.
Oh my god. At that point, I was gonna have sex with her, because she's like...
She's a lesbian.
That is the only time. I don't care. I would dress up like a lady for her. She's just... But in that moment, she was like, I love her funny. She's just like, what'd you use such language for? And she's like, no people in my church go here. And it's just like, oh, this
I
is
love
sweet.
that line. That was so funny. Because, no.
Oh my god.
I actually had a neighbor, my friend Andrew, his mom is so that woman, and I remember being out in public with her, and she'd cuss, and we'd look at her, and she goes, "No one's my church here," and it's such a genuine thing, and Wanda Sykes grew up around people like that too, so that's what's so funny about it. That whole scene's improv. You can tell that her and
especially
her and
the
her
stuff with the
husband. Yeah, I mean that's great about it. I've actually seen the extended thing, so we got to get into one of the deleted scenes in this movie.
I've seen most of them, so yeah.
There's 5 minutes of that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But actually, let's move into that deleted scene. All right, so it takes place when they're driving back from the go-karts.
Oh God, yes.
It's weird that it got deleted because they actually reference it later.
Yep.
All right, so they're driving back from the go-karts. They're talking about jerking off at work in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
Randall has this whole diatribe about how he won't do it in the men's bathroom because he's afraid some sex maniac will run in and start
and get all retard strong.
Right?
I actually seen that scene. The version of the movie I seen had that one in it.
Oh, cool. So
No.
There's
the best
not
part
just
of it. The best part of it. Get to idiot. The best part.
Yeah. All right. So there's that scene, and then he continues it because Dante says, "No, I don't jerk off in the men's bathroom. I jerk off in the women's bathroom." Randall just looks at him with this look of shock and horror. He's like, "What?" It's like, "Well, your mom visits you at work. So what if you jerk off in the women's bathroom and some of your semen lands on the toilet seat and your mom visits you at work and then she comes in and she has to go to the bathroom and then she sits on the same bathroom seat that you jerked off onto and then suddenly, bam, 9 months later you've got your own retard kid that's going to go into bathrooms and try to suck off people."
And then when he comes to visit you at work and you're in the women's bathroom jerking off and he gets all retarded strong and fucks you.
That was so good, and then that's what's so funny about it because later when Dante tells Randall that Becky's pregnant, it's like, "Holy shit, she got pregnant off the toilet seat you jerked off onto."
Yeah, it's unfortunate that scene got
What's
cut out.
retards, guys? I got a question. What's retard strength?
When people have mental deficiencies or mental problems is a more PC term. They get physical strength from their whether it be a mental problem in terms of psychoses or a learning disability. They do get ungodly physical strength. I think the best example is you see. I'm going to use a fictional story as my best example. Lenny from Of Mice and Men.
Oh yeah.
When they don't specify what learning disability he has, but clearly he's either got autism or some kind of learning disability, and the motherfucker kills somebody because he gets all retard.
Spoilers.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say who. He kills somebody accidentally because of what they were letting him do to them, and he got all retard strong and killed her. So, that's the best example I can think of, but there's others.
And now everybody unsubscribes from Bill.
What?
I don't know, just the fact that you used retard strong not
I'm
for-
using it in context. I'm explaining it to my friend Milan here.
Okay.
Isn't that right, Milan?
The thing is, we don't. Yes, of course, but the thing is, sorry I asked. It's just we don't have retards in Russia. We have prime ministers.
What?
Ah!
That's going on a T-shirt.
We don't have retards in Russia. We just have political officials.
Internet high five.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I'm ashamed of how my political system.
Well, I'm hiding his shame behind people who are retard strong.
We don't have retards in Russia. We just have farmers.
We just have the homeless.
No, we just don't have retards at all. We're shot at birth.
More or
Oh,
less.
that's great.
Um,
Now everybody unsubscribes from you.
No, but like that's not
and they
my
all
fault.
come to me, my subscribers, all mine.
They won't watch or comment on any of your videos.
Yeah. All right. So let's. There's one other thing. We're getting kind of close to wrapping up here. There's one other scene that we must obviously must talk about related to Clerks 2. And I guess we should tie this into Clerks because it's also a really good scene in Clerks. Is the Star Wars and Lord of the Rings discussions.
Oh, God, yes. All right. I have quoted that scene on this show before, so that shows you.
That is my view of the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Mine as well. Mine as well.
Like, I always felt that way, but I never could quite express it in words until I saw that movie.
So, and you know what really makes it great? The way he differentiates between each of the three. First, he just walks in a straight line, and then he walks in a straight line and stops and looks down at like a crack, and then he just keeps going. I fucking love that fucking little bit. That little bit of improv, like what was probably improv acting, is just so fucking genius. It's probably my favorite scene in the movie.
The thing with that is, people always say, why didn't they just take the eagles? Well, the thing is, they had giant fucking dragons with knights that are undead on them. I mean,
I don't care.
I'm
It's
sure
still a boring fucking movie about three people walking to a volcano.
Yeah.
With awesome music playing.
there was
in the back.
other stuff that, like, you know what? They should just have. When I make my way to Alec LaBoy, my true love and spiritual partner, as I'm just on the plane, and I hopefully Alec is listening to this. Like, I just make my way to his house, and, you know, they just have Lords of the
You
Rings,
just want
Lord-
them to be playing the Lord of the Rings music.
in the background. I'll just be walking with a boom. And then I'll pledge my ring into his volcano. My ring.
I love how his criticism of that scene causes somebody to throw up.
Oh,
that
was
is
fun.
genius.
Yeah, I
That's
really like that.
Gacy.
Yeah, well, that's
The scene where-
yeah.
Yeah,
After
the
Sam
scene where the
swallows.
hobbits suck at
And right before the end credits, Sam flat out bricks in Photo's mouth. Fuck you.
He makes Elias clean it up.
That was
I also
great.
love the reference they make to that later when Dante proposes to Becky, and Elias goes, "One ring to rule them all."
Right? That one's really funny. Like, I really like that scene because it epitomizes my view on Lord of the Rings, and I also really like the scene in Clerks where they talk about the Death Star.
Oh, that's the
And-
best scene in the movie, bar none.
It's just like, well, what about all the construction workers and plumbers and stuff that were on that thing? It was unfinished. The rebels totally just killed millions of workers that just took the job because it was worth a lot of money. And then the construction workers in the damn quick stop at the time.
My only problem with that scene is that
like
the guy playing.
a roofer doesn't follow his wallet. A roofer follows his heart.
My problem
I
with
love
that
that.
scene is the guy playing the roofer is a terrible actor. Now I know he was just a customer who came in and they asked him to be in the movie, but still, his delivery is awful.
Yeah, I guess. I didn't hate. He doesn't bother me as much as some of the other customers do. I really like the Chuli's gum guy.
Oh God, that is such a good scene. That guy really gives it his all. And let me just point this out as somebody who knows a lot about the history of Clerks. Walt Flanagan, who is one of the main characters in Comic Book Men, the current reality show, plays like 15 different fucking characters in this movie. And I didn't notice them all until I watched it this time around. Like, he is in 3 successive scenes as different people. First, he's the guy who orders the cigarettes. Then he's the egg guy, the guidance counselor. And then he's the guy who was there when Dante and Randall are talking about, I don't know, they're talking about something sexual.
Right.
And he goes, I am offended by that. And I'm like, holy shit, that's Walt again.
They did really good, costuming.
They did, because I didn't notice it until I knew about it. It was really, really fucked up.
I like the egg guy, too. That guy's funny as shit.
Yeah, it's such a funny scene. I love the, there's 2 scenes in both of these Clerks movies that are really, they're unintentionally creepy. But Kevin Smith knows they're creepy, so he puts fitting music behind it, or at least a fitting tone behind it. First,
oh god, Pillow Pants?
Pillow Pants, oh my god. But first of all, the egg monologue in Clerks 1, where the woman is telling Dante and Randall that not to call the cops because this happens all the time. And that guidance counselors always pay for what they break and apologize and shit. And it's such a creepy, fucked up scene, and it comes off almost like it's out of a horror movie. And then, of course, there's no music behind it. Then you go to Clerks 2, when Elias is talking about Pillow Pants and Lister Fiend, and Randall just has this horrified look on his face, just like, oh my god, this kid is so stupid. It's almost like a serial killer moment. Like, this is the moment where Elias pulls out a knife and stabs Randall in the heart. I fucking adore that scene and the music.
Whoa, hold on. Stop. So are you saying that women don't have little trolls in their vaginas?
No,
my mother
Milan.
lied to me!
His mother lied to him. I wonder why.
No, Milan. Women don't have trolls in their vaginas, but they do have them in their mouths. So no kissing.
And no oral. And men have them
I
too,
was
so no
sticking
oral.
all those...
I think I like
to-
the whole Pillow Pants story, but I think the point at which it becomes just utterly ridiculous is when the mouth troll is called Lister Fiend.
No, that was genius. That was fucking hysterical. Especially when Randall was like, let me guess, that's the troll that lives in her mouth, isn't it? And Elias just nods.
Women.
I also love it when there's that early scene when Dante and Randall are talking about you don't go ass to mouth. And it's just treated like this big social norm. And it's just like, is this really a social norm?
You never go ass to mouth. Milan, did you ever go ass to mouth?
I went vagina to mouth.
The silence means yes.
Why can't you hear me?
Yeah, what'd you say?
I said my tongue went pretty close to the ass, but no.
Bill, do you ever go ass to mouth?
Never gone ass to mouth.
I want to one day. I want to go one day.
Ian, you went ass to mouth?
I said I've never gone ass to mouth.
Oh, it's like, good, you never go ass to mouth.
No, obviously, you never go ass to mouth.
And then Becky goes, as friends, I can say, you sometimes go ass to mouth. And Dante's just like, what?
And Randall's all like, knew it.
Oh, God. These movies are fantastic.
I really do love them. I'm trying to think, is there anything else we need to discuss from Clerks?
The deleted ending of Clerks 1.
What's the deleted ending? I can't see.
Dante gets shot.
Oh, that's right.
Because Kevin Smith, when he was first writing Clerks, said, how do I end a real movie? Oh, I know. I'll have a guy come into the store and shoot Dante. Now, I've never seen this ending, but I've heard Kevin Smith talk about it, and I'm so fucking glad that he cut it, because it is a pointless move. Because it's just like... And the only idea it would have paid off is, I'm not supposed to be here today. Mm-hmm. And if you would have gotten a shot, that would have been the cap on it. But I like the ending better as that kind of, warm, semi-optimistic outlook that these people's lives are going to get better. It's just such a bizarre idea, but I really want to see it now, and I want to get. I think if anyone doesn't want to see it, I think you can see it on the Clerks X DVD, the 10th anniversary. But I'm not sure. But if you want to check it out, just check it out there. But that's a fantastic DVD anyway, so go buy that anyway.
If Clerks were made by Russian people, Dante would have been shot.
Apparently.
Unless he was a supporter of the government. In that case, he would have lived and got the promotion at the end.
Milan, what do you think
Exactly.
of the Russian guy in Clerks 1? or what was his
I'm
name? Olaf?
Olaf. So does Kevin Smith have Russian roots? I'm like,
No, that's a reference to I'll tell this quick story. That's a reference to one time he was in the mall with his friends and Walt Flanagan put this wig on that made him look Russian somehow. And he went around pretending to be Russian and trying to get pussy through it. It was really fucking funny. That's what that scene is a reference to.
I've done something like that.
That is like the worst.
I was once at a
That was the most
I
racist
did
thing
something
I've
kind
ever
of like
heard.
that. I've
You
done
racist.
something kind of like that. I was at a party and everybody was drunk and I only knew 2 of the people there, so I put on an Irish accent and I told my friends to just go with it. And dude, they're eating out of the palm of my hand. It was awesome.
You told me the story, yeah.
Like to the point where like they're like, so can you do like. So since you grew up in Ireland, but you've lived here for so long, do you know how to do like an American accent? I'm like, well, let me try it real quick. Hi, my name is Ian Harrington. Oh my God, it sounds so real.
Oh my, Ian, you have the worst Irish accent I have ever heard.
Let him get into it. He does it really well. Ian, do the rest of the video in an Irish accent.
All right, I'll try for it. It's a little hard. It takes a
stop.
bit to get into it, but it once I get down a roll, it's actually really hard to get out. One of the interesting things is my mum told me a while back that I was born in Irish and it took a while for me to lose the accent really.
Oh, Ireland!
Oh, that's awful. That's just
No,
terrible.
it is not awful.
Oh, you shut
It
the fuck up!
is
You can't do
awful.
more than 3 voices anyway, you stupid Russian fuck.
All right, Milan, let's hear
Well
your
then, yeah. Well, right then, you fucking bastard.
That's
This is your
fucking
friend.
Scottish,
That's
you stupid fuck.
Scottish.
You never.
Oh well.
That's
All
Scottish,
right
you
then.
dumb
yes.
fuck. You
Okay,
go
shut up,
to
you
your fucking
stupid
haggis,
fuck.
you never. No,
Oi.
that's such a racist accent, you fucking
Shut
asshole.
up, both of you shut up now, you
Yeah,
fucking cunts.
Bill
All right,
ruined it.
this-
Bill ruined everything.
Alright,
Bill
this has
ruined
gotten to the
everything.
point where it's fucking ridiculous, so I think this is the end of the video, everybody, unless there's anything else we really...
No, gentlemen, we can't. Gentlemen, we have to talk about the donkey show.
Oh, we do have to
Oh,
talk about...
God, that scene was fucked up. I
my
literally
God.
got uncomfortable watching that scene. I was like,
Okay.
God.
Who here saw the... Let's go back to... Remember your first time watching the movie. Who here remembers the donkey... who here called that the donkey show was going to be a man?
I did. I called it totally. When you just see that
Perfect.
guy, and he's just like, oh, Kelly will be out later. And I was like, oh, that guy's totally Kelly. Especially because you can see that tattoo, born to fuck.
How about you,
Well,
Mo?
right.
Did you call it was going to be the fat guy?
Well, ladies, I don't. Well, personally, I thought, like, oh, maybe there will be a girl, but you know, it was fine. The guy was still hilarious when he came out with that, you know, BDSM costume and that mask. It's just like I don't know. I'm gonna
Species
drop
of
this.
erotica fucked hard.
Yeah, all right.
I do love that
I'm
line.
just gonna
The
stop.
species erotica.
It is such a fucked up scene because it's so well shot. Where if they would have shown it, it wouldn't have been as disturbing as it actually is. Because just like the characters in that scene, it's so horrifying you just can't look away. It's like, oh my god!
Personally, I didn't find it that scary, actually.
I
thought it
know
was
you
funny.
wouldn't.
It's
I
like,
know you
ah.
I
But, like,
I just thought myself laughing the whole time. I thought it was absolutely
Yeah, I was
brilliant.
laughing.
I mean, it was definitely
For
hilarious.
me,
I was like,
the
oh
the
my
one
god!
the one scene that really cemented my love for that girl, for that sweet chocolate caramel princess, was that she's like, I can't look away. Like, I want a woman that enjoys a donkey show as much as I do.
You should start advertising that in the local papers and the wanted ads, you
The
know.
wanted ads.
Funny you should say that. I have.
There's your Craigslist posting right there, matey.
Looking for woman who enjoys Donkey Show. That is all. No other standards required.
Well, after that, what more do you need?
Nothing.
I mean, I suppose you want them to cook and clean, but you know,
That's
she
implied.
doesn't Donkey Show as much as you know.
That's implied. It'd be more fucked up if it was the other way, where it's like required woman who can cook and clean, and then it's like, oh, you also enjoy donkey shows, right? No, that's a standard, isn't it?
Then I can finally die. No, it's just like this is
So
what
then
I asked.
becomes a social
can-
standard. You can die.
So you can cook, you can clean, you have good blowjobs, you love to fuck all the time, but you don't like a donkey show. Okay, I'm sorry, you're just not the type for me. Goodbye.
Milan, you're acting like you got a line outside your house.
Oh god.
I'm pretty sure you'd set up for a woman that would so much as look at you.
Oh god, the Irish accent makes it so much funnier.
I would do the Irish accent because mine's better, which is yours is just like awful. I'm like, stop it, Ian.
I'm sorry, you're really wrong. You're absolutely the worst. You have the worst set of opinions I've ever heard. You're the person that did a Robin video where you did the same voice for 5 characters. It was fucking terrible. You're nowhere near as good a voice actor as you fucking think you are, you selfish prick. So why don't you go suck a cunt? Why don't you go suck a cock, you stupid cunt?
I would. But
From now on, I will do the rest of this video in the styles of Optimus Prime.
Like, I am kind of losing it. It takes me the right kind of, it is harder to get into. I can't always just drop into it. It takes a while. I'm not at my best, but Milan, my Irish accent is significantly better than yours. Because mine actually sounds like a real Irish person instead of a...
No, it just sounds awful. I'm sorry, it just sounds awful.
You sound awful. Everything you do sounds awful. You sound like you just shove the microphone halfway down your throat and then start to talk.
Alright, enough. Let's wrap up on the Clerks pictures. Come on.
No, Milan and I are fighting, and this is fun.
No, I will not.
Yeah,
I will
Bill,
not,
shut
I will not
up.
stand for it.
Because Milan has no ability to defend himself because he's not clever enough.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure
wait,
he wasn't really exactly dropped on his head. I'm pretty sure that he just kind of slid out of his mom's womb while she was cooking in the kitchen, and she just walked around with him attached for a couple days.
Milan, are you gonna take that?
That is... Well, that is factually
Only
accurate.
because it's accurate.
It is, but Ian, your accent is so awful that my ears felt like they were being raped by a black man's penis.
Well, Milan, your ears always feel like they're being raped by a black man's penis because all you do is go down to the docks and let black men shove their penises
He
into
just has
your
to stick out his ear and he'll feel that way.
That is true. That is true. That's the thing. How do you know all this shit?
Because you tell us every single detail about your fucking life, whether we want to hear it or not, and that's why no one will listen to your shit.
Because they know, if I listen to this, there's gonna be black man rape involved. I don't want to be a part of that.
Lon, you always wonder why you don't have any subscribers or viewers or anything. You want a big fucking reason why? Watch one of your videos.
Ooh, God, this is getting violent. All right. I'm gonna force this to wrap up. So, what are your guys' creative scores for Clerks 1 and 2? Let's start with you, Milan.
I'm sad now. Jeez.
Ian, you're a real fuck. You know that? Jesus Christ.
Well,
the claws came out there. This is your Irish accent. You're just like, fuck this prick. I'm gonna fuck his shit up. His self-esteem will be gone by the end of this conversation.
It's funny because all of the...
Milan, you gotta learn not to start shit that you can't finish.
God,
I'm just quoting fact. Just stating the fact that Irish accent is not as good as you think it is. But it's just
Bill,
an opinion.
Milan, I fooled a room full of people. I'm pretty sure
To be
it's
fair,
him.
to be
A
fair,
room full of Americans. A room
no,
full of
okay.
Americans.
Milan, don't
That's
get
not great
racist. Let's
thinking.
point out that it is drunk people.
Well, not just drunk people, but the fact that, Milan, how many Irish people do you know?
I live in Australia.
None, then.
Fuck off. I know a couple.
But you don't... Nah, shut
You
up.
don't,
Anyway.
you don't really know them, Milan. You don't know their true spirit.
I know
man,
the
I've never heard you... One, you don't have friends. Besides
Alright,
going-
Ian, come on. Seriously, let's fucking wrap up.
Well, I've been trying to apologize, but you keep fucking interrupting me, Bill. God. I suppose
You're not apologizing to him.
I said I was trying to, but then Milan had to start talking shit again.
Oh, okay, alright. Milan,
So I had to slap him down.
Milan, hang on. Ian apologized to him in a wholehearted way.
Milan, I'm sorry that I speak the truth.
Milan, now, just stop talking. So those are our thoughts on Clerks 1 and 2. So, Ian, what is your final score, creative score for Clerks 1 and Clerks 2?
See, I want to say Donkey Show. Mara, we gotta divvy them up. Alright, I'm gonna say that Clerks 1 gets 4 out of 5 tipped over caskets at funerals. And I'm gonna give Clerks 2 4.5 out of 5. Damn, I really want to say Donkey Show, but it's too damn obvious. 4.5 out of 5 cow tippers.
Alright, Milan, your creative
I
score
wanna
for
give-
Clerks 1 and 2.
I want to give these two films combined 2 greasy goatees. No, 4.5 greasy goatees out of 5.
Well, that went up.
Now you gotta do one for each. So that can be one or the other. You gotta do one for each.
The first film I give 4.5 greasy goatees. The second film I give 5 Jay and Silent Bops out of 5.
So, alright. I'm gonna give Clerks 1 4. I'm gonna give Clerks 1 4.5 perfect dozens out of 5, and I'm gonna give Clerks 2 4 piss and flies fast food meals out of 5.
Clever. Alright,
Yeah.
so we've been kind of out of order the last few weeks, so next week has to be an idea topic. Who's got one that they want to do?
I know it's my turn, but boys, I got nothing. I'm sorry. I have been fucking spent this last week. I couldn't think of a thing. So, do we want to come up with something now, or...
Got something?
Me, let's see. Let's see, I had something on the tip of my tongue. The validity of Bigfoot's existence.
Oh, crap.
No, because Bill will not shut up.
No, you don't want to get me going on that.
Alright then, how about this?
Just
Godzilla.
turn into, Godzilla, just as a character.
Just
Do you mind if
Godzilla
we
in
broaden it
general.
out? Do you mind if we broaden it out and just talk about giant monsters and whether or not they fulfill the role of character?
We just did that
When?
with the Monsters video.
Yeah, I guess. Alright. Well, I mean, that one was a lot more broad, but okay.
Big women. Are big women intimidating to men?
No.
We could do... We haven't... The role of females in action films.
Okay, yeah, Bill, that's your topic
Just
then.
sexism
I like
that's
sexism
the
in
topic.
general.
Yeah, okay,
Sexism
fine.
in general.
Sexism in film in general. That's...
I really like that. I guess, alright, that'll be fine.
Sexism, and because there is definitely a male stereotype as well, so we can broaden it to both. I like that, Milan. Good suggestion. All right, so based on our combined efforts, we are going to be talking about sexism in film next week. I suppose we can broaden that out to comics and video games and such, and narrative storytelling.
Sexism and narrative storytelling. What a fancy title. That's going to be clickable right there.
Yes.
Everyone's going to be wanting to click on that bitch.
Right? That bitch is going to be so clickable.
Alright, everybody, so thank you for listening to our first regular episode. Milan, I am seriously sorry, but you can't start shit that you can't finish. Come on, man. You can't step up to this. I'll lay the smackdown
You
on
can
you.
only step up to the streets.
Anyway. So, everybody, thank you for listening to this return to form of Geeky Gentlemen, where we're all mean and talking over each other and randomly cussing and going on yay tangents. It's been a while since we've had a good meaty tangent, hasn't it?
Oh, God, this was a great episode. Great episode.
Yeah.
And this is another.
So everyone-
This is another back to form where Milan is interrupted and doesn't get to speak. Huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, I did go back to you a couple times because
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right.
That's
So
true.
anyway,
That's
everyone, thank you for listening to this week's episode of Geeky Gentlemen. I'm the philosopher.
I'm the fanatic.
And I am the madman.
And we are your Geeky Gentlemen, and we will be discussing things. Fuck. Motherfuck. Noise. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Noise. Smoking weed, smoking whiz, doing coke, drinking beers, rolling fatties, smoking blunts. We smoke blunts. Rolling blunts and smoking blunts.
That's correct.
Ah, come on, you're supposed to say, let me get the nickel bag. $15, little man. Put that shit in my hand, and if that money doesn't show, then you owe me. My jungle love.